Hopefully, you have learned something very valuable from last podcast and the last book that we have completed. And please give me a review. What have you learned? And if there is anything I should add in my description, in my analysis, and discussion with you people. So, let's move on to the next part, the crazy part. As I said to you, every time the new book is going to be much better than the last one because I'm going to increase the intensity of my research on it for you. So, the next book we're gonna study now is The Power of Concentration. The power of concentration, we have heard about concentration and we know different definitions of concentration as per human beings know that in normal life. But in this one, again, my beautiful notes I have made there. So what the writer is going to describe, I'm going to just describe in my easy words so you can absorb and contemplate in your daily life easily. So what he says, in order to accomplish something, we must concentrate. Obviously we know that, but the next part is that very few of us are able to do that. Ask yourself, are you able to do that very precisely or in a productive way? Do you do that every day? No. The answer, the fair answer, not the answer, the fair answer is going to be no. Why? Because to do that, the writer says that's a very animalistic thing he says here. Maybe you can agree or not because I'm discussing what the writer says, not only my view and my perception. So what writer says, the man that is apparently suited best for a place does not always fit in best. Why? We never fit in best on certain roles. Though we apparently appear that we are best suited for this, we are best suited for that person or this role or in this position, but we are not because it's not our capacity, our capability. It is the concentration level we put in there. But the next thing that he tells us, it's going to blow your mind, that how can we be best suited for a particular position. What he says is, a man is a wonderful creation, but he must be trained and developed to be useful. Listen to that again. Man is a wonderful creature, but he must be trained and developed to be useful. So that means we are very animalistic in nature. We are not able to control ourselves in a predefined way. So we let loose of ourselves and we think we want to do what we want to do, what we wish to do. And this happens to all of you as well. To me, to you, we randomly wander around in the world and do things that we think we are deciding, but we are not training our mind in a ritualistic way. Ritualistic means in a disciplined way. So we have to be disciplined. By whom? That's the best answer. Ask yourself, whom? If someone else is disciplining us, that means we become slave. So the best answer is we have to be trained by ourselves. If we train ourselves, we are happily being trained and we adopt that more enthusiastically and we get productive for any role in the world. So guys, the next part is concentration finds its ways. Means if you concentrate or I concentrate on a thing, there will always be a way. For example, the writer says that no man has to ever do what he does not want to do. Means we always blame circumstances. If we wish or we will, W-I-L-L, not will and shall, we will, our will does not allow it to be done by us, that act cannot be performed. So that means we have to concentrate and master our will. So how strong are you with your will? Not stubborn. A lot of people will confuse strong will with stubbornness. It's totally different thing. So you have to ask yourself, am I a stubborn person or is it my will making me do it? So you have to differentiate a lot of aspects. And if it was so easy, the books would be written on these topics. So you have to self-analyze yourself, critically analyze yourself. Then he says, opportunity never seeks us or comes to our door. We have to seek it. Means some of the lazy people like me, they just say that opportunity will come to us. We have to go out. We have to create opportunities. One of us will be sitting down there and just compromising on the life the whole life and the opportunities by just crying over it that I didn't get any opportunity. And the other person, under the same circumstances or even in the worst circumstances, will be going out, grabbing that opportunity and making something big out of it, only because he had the control of his will to go out and act on it, not just procrastinating and waiting on it, just like we do usually. So ask yourself, question yourself if you are willing to do that, if you have the courage to do that. Because, as I said to you in the beginning, is only you against you. You don't have to do things full time, regularly. You have to do things full heartedly, rather full time. That will make you a complete man, complete person in your life. I repeat that again. You have to do things wholeheartedly, rather whole full time. So imagine yourself in which situation you are in and then analyze yourself. Then what you have to do is, you can only teach a person till his doomsday, but he will only learn what he learns himself. So if I teach you, if I give you the best lessons from the best books of the world, you will still gain nothing. You can just give a like and a watch of this podcast, of this video, of the shorts of my videos. You still will say, oh, this guy is giving a hell lot of knowledge to us by reading the whole best of the books from the best scholars, best researchers. But what's the benefit if you are not acting on it? You're still zero. You still zero, because obviously I'm gaining from it. I'm trying to implement it, because the knowledge grows when you share with others, and I'm growing with it. But are you implementing that on yourself? That's the question you have to ask yourself. So then he says, what we have to do to change ourselves is, on the first of every month, we have to sit down and critically analyze ourselves, that whatever I promised myself in the last month, have I achieved that target? If yes, that's good. If not, there are two things. One thing we have to do is, we have to again make our will stronger to act on that part. That very few of us will do that. But the next part is very good and easy, and most of us will do. And you will realize we have done in the past very much. I've done that in the past very much, and you can relate that, making excuses. Now, that's the easiest part, to give up and making excuses of what we were not able to do that. What you were not able to achieve, analyze yourself, what mistakes you have done to lose that part from your life. So, if you have done some mistakes, take the accountability, use that, and then act on it to be the best version of yourself in the next month. And then on the first of next month, sit down again and analyze. Hope that grow you towards one step closer towards your destination. So guys, most of the things, according to the writer, is possible. Whatever we think impossible, probably 99.9999% relatively they are possible. It's just that we are not willing to do the effort. So the harder the thing, the better the results and the rewards are. So it depends how big the thing we achieve or how big we strive, the bigger the reward we get. So the writer says that secret of success is to always improve yourself. No matter how hard is the thing, you keep improving yourself day by day, step by step on it. There is nothing that stops you. That's damn sure you're gonna achieve it. You have tried many things in your life. When the first time you started writing, you were not able to write, but we have forgotten the lessons of our childhood, that to start writing we make mistakes months and months, not even days, months of just one alphabet. Then we make it to the perfection, to the sentences. But we don't want to do it anymore. It should be the opposite. The more we grow older, we should have learned better about improving ourselves and having the consistency. But it as we grow, we are doing the opposite of it. We keep forgetting the power of consistency, perseverance. We keep forgetting that. You, me, all of us are example of this. Then the writer says that don't expect anyone to help you. They can only encourage you, that is all. So the thing that we keep listening, you, me, every day we think about motivation, encouragement. I can do that for you. You can get it from anywhere else. Watch some other videos and you will get the encouragement and motivation from anyone else. But that is the maximum someone can do for you. They're not going to grab your hand and take it to you somewhere else or like, make you do something physically. The only thing someone can put in your mind is the sensation, the motivation. But eventually, you are the one who's going to tell your mind that it is my will, I'm going to do it, I will achieve it. So eventually, all comes down to your self adjustment. But most of you are gonna be sitting down there and just analyzing the same lines. Yeah, I'm getting motivated. Yeah, let's see, tomorrow I'll do it. And then the same downfall. But I will share one important quotation from this book, and that should be a little bit hurting for people like you and me. Trust me, for both of us. And the quotation says, there is no other handicap other than health that you cannot overcome to be successful. So, listen to this again. There is no other handicap other than health that you cannot overcome to be successful. So, here the writer is telling all of the humankind who are not physically handicapped or having health issues. Even most of them are just made up. So, that means there is nothing, there is no event, no circumstances that you cannot overcome, no situation that you cannot turn around towards success if you don't wish to. That means the success we are waiting for is stopped only by us. I heard somewhere that if you think that someone has ruined your life or someone stopped you from success, definitely you're right, and that is you. You have done it to yourself. So keep pushing yourself every single damn day. Not one moment by watching some video for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, having your mindset going into that zone. You do it every day, watching and scrolling YouTube and TikTok, everything. But what are you doing practically to improve every day? Because motivation is not the key. The discipline, the will, consistency, perseverance, existence of the same steps again and again and again. That is the thing you need. So, guys, the next part is self mastery, self direction, your concentration on yourself. Self mastery is the art of success because this gives the direction to your emotions and to your physical self. So the writer says, man must learn to control not only his mind but his bodily movements as well. So we say mostly when we react, we say that, okay, what are we looking at? In a calm person who is composed and very efficient in every manner, we try to see his composure in terms of his reactions mentally. But actually, we should always be learning to control our hand movements, our neck, hands, legs, jerking of the body parts. So these all movements are part of our emotional reactions and controlling power. So some of these can be controlled easily. For example, if you are not able to control your emotions plus your bodily movement, there can be multiple reasons. As per the writer suggests, it can be motor neurons, maybe deficiency of some food or some nutrients. Then it can be your untrained mind that can easily be trained, or it can be your impulsive behavior that most of us are guilty of, including me, by the way. So we suddenly impulsively respond to anything that just itches us. So that can be controlled with meditation, with controlled behavior, and by controlling our will. Secondly, the writer also says we can only control our behavior and movements if we struggle on our will. Means we concentrate deliberately on our will, and that only is possible if we keep repeating for the same thing: I want, I need to, and I will. These three things we have to repeat to ourselves. You have to say to yourself to gather that power into your core. Again and again, you have to repeat, I want, I need, and I will. And then you see the difference. You will achieve it. Definitely, there is no way. And then the writer says, concentration is the strength of mind. You concentrate only when you say, I want to, I need to, and I will. I repeated this line 3 times. You can see the importance of this line. I want, I need, I will. This is the success mantra. So remember this. Secondly, a person who is impulsive in one moment and calm in the next is not the master of emotions. What he will do is he will be flipping again and again in the best moments of his life. When he is near to the success, he will mess up the mastery of success, the occasions, the opportunities of success, not only for himself but for the people around him as well. You must have seen a lot in a teamwork when a leader is messing up with his emotions and the whole team goes down into their emotions and they cannot perform the best to their abilities. Guys, the book we're discussing, again, the same book, The Power of Concentration, it's a bit lengthy book, but it was worth it literally, because this is a problem of everyday person, and me, you, everyone. You face the lack of concentration. But in this book, the writer is saying that every wish of ours can be gratified. Is it a magic lamp he has or we got in our hand? Just mere concentration? Yes, exactly it is. That's what he's saying. And what he's saying, your every wish is gratifiable. Means whatever you are just merely wishing, it can come true, but with the power of concentration only. And that is the most important thing we are lacking. We say that we can concentrate, actually we cannot. In the previous lectures I have said to you that okay, even if you are trying to focus on one thing while you are in the street or going towards a train station, you will fail initially 40 times minimum. That's the criteria. So imagine how difficult it is to concentrate. So the next thing he's saying is, to concentrate, the first point you have to see is inside your soul. So your soul is the main source of concentration. First you have to learn to see inside. Then he's saying, not only just look inside or try to concentrate merely just randomly saying things that okay, I'm focusing on things, I'm trying to think of one thing to achieve that target. No, you have to keep repeating yourself that he said before. Just say, you can, you will, and you must. Imagine the power of these 3 words he's mentioning to repeat. You can, you will, and you must. So these 3 things, you can, you will, and you must, if they join together, you can achieve anything. How beautiful and how scary it is also. Just by these 3 words. The next chapter is about thought, the thought process, how we think about things and our surroundings, our business, our environment. Your thought will make you what you are. The very important line I loved in this one is that your thought will make you what you are. It will make what is surrounding you, your friend circle, your business, your personal life. It's all about your thought. You start changing your thoughts, your surroundings will change, your friends will change, your environment will change. Every result is a consequence of your thought. So, for example, the scientists in the past, this is in the book, I'm not making it up, in the past have done an experiment on a prisoner. So they got a prisoner who was already on a death row, and it's a very common example. I believe so most of the people have heard about it, but at this point it is very important to mention because it is mentioned in the book as well. So the book says that the scientists in the past have done an experiment on a prisoner where they asked him that if he allows the scientist to put a experiment on him, he might get some extra time on his sentence rather than a death row. So he says, okay, I'm not losing anything. Either way he was going to die. So what they did is the scientists put him in a dark room. The scientists will put him in a dark room, and what they will do is, and they will tell him that they're going to put a cut on his leg, and the cut is going to bleed all night, okay, and they will keep him in the dark, blindfolding him. He cannot see, he cannot move, he cannot touch the wound. So what they did is they put a small scratch on his leg, not even a proper bleed. So it was not bleeding or dripping with the blood, but what they did is they psychologically put a water dropping bucket next to him, pretending to be in his mind that his mind was thinking that's his blood dropping inside the bucket. Actually, it was water dripping down. So his thought process was in the dark room that it is the blood that is dripping from my leg. So whole night he was under the fear, a thoughtful fear. So, or you can say a fear of his thoughts that he is getting bleeding out. He is bleeding all night, and by the morning he was already dead because of the fear of his blood draining from his body. Imagine the power of thought. So it can be power of thought of a fear or success. So it's down to you that which way you mold your thoughts, towards the fear of success or towards the fear of death. So either way, both extremes are for you. Whichever way you mold it, you will achieve it. Talk about thoughts, we have to talk about silence. Silence is the power that let us think properly. It allows us to think what is the thought process, what we want to think about. It is the powerful place that we have to dive into. But most of the people don't know what silence is. They think that just without any sound, any disturbance, that's called silence. So I will explain you with regards to the writer what he thinks and what he wants us to absorb in terms of silence. He says, look within yourself and you will find the greatest machine ever made. It is necessary to be silent before you can speak wisely. So the greatest machine ever built is inside, not even us. Obviously, as a human body, we are the best machine ever made. But inside us, the mind, the thoughtful process where we do everything, it's our mind. That's the biggest machine ever made. But to do that, we have to be silent. And you will see a lot of people who speak very wisely and intelligently. They have practiced that in silent before a lot of times before they have spoken any wise words. Trust me, find it, speak to any person and speak in depth. Ask them, have they not practiced that in silence before they speak in the public or to you even? So we have to practice the art of silence, the thought process, separately from the world. And you have to practice it again and again and again. You have to practice it many times. And then you become at a level where you can say that you are above the rest of the peers around you in terms of your mental state, in terms of your thought processes. Another thing is, he says that you have to do practical thought concentration. It has to be practical, not just random and vague thought process. You have to be concentrated on the concentration to achieve the final output. You have to be concentrated on the concentration process, not randomly just sitting silent and trying to think something over. The next part, the writer says that it is within you that you have the power to think what you want to think. You have the power within you what you want your mind to give you the answer for. So what he says is that you have unlimited power to think, and the barriers of ignorance keep ruling you. So how pity is that on us, on you, that how dare we let the barriers of ignorance ruling us? We know the answer. I heard somewhere that, when we talking about the success formula, the positive thought formula, we all are aware of it. And that was very pinching to me, that we are all aware of it, the formula for everything. You, me, we know that what we have to get up, what we have to do to achieve that. But we are so lazy that we allow these negative thoughts to come on us. It is on us, but we don't want to take the accountability. So what we do is we let it slide. We just want to blame on others, on the surroundings, on the thought process. But if we want, when the things are going negative, that is the real time. Then we have to show it to the world what we are made of, what we are actually. That is the actual time, not in the normal process. So what he says is, when you are in a negative mood, you attract negative thoughts of similar nature through the law of affinity. So as you can see that he's saying the same thing, that we do not allow the negative thoughts to come over us. That's in our control, in our hand. So by your will you can control so much that your moods change only if you want them to. I was getting a bit aggravated by explaining this thought process, and then I started smiling. Why? For a reason. While reading this line, I just thought in between that line, why I'm getting aggravated. I can switch my mood. I can switch my mood in a smiling way as well if I wish to, while I'm getting angry on this thought. Why I was getting angry on this thought? Because I realized that everything is in my control and still I am not achieving things that I want to. But I switched my mood. I switched it to a smile intentionally. So that means it literally everything surrounding us and inside us is in our control. So the machine built within us has so much potential and power that it can achieve and do anything we want. That means we are the lazy ones. After finishing the podcast, I need your feedback in terms of your comments. Subscribe. Like, you don't like it, doesn't matter, but at least tell me what is wrong with that and what I should add in there, because I am putting so much effort in it for you and for myself also as well, obviously. But you should be telling me what I'm doing wrong, or where you got the information right and what helped you in a bit, so I can change it every time. Because if you help me gain the information about this improvement, what I am thinking is in the future to get live sessions about the books we discuss. So 4 to 5 days we will be doing something like what I'm doing right now. I go through the books and then I give you the original knowledge of the books, not like random prefaces or something some somebody's reading from somewhere. I go through the whole books, and then couple of days we'll be doing live sessions and discussing those books live with you with your questions live. So please help me on this one.